Hey guys, what's up? My name is Whitney and welcome to my channel. In today's video, it's not going to be a scary one, but it is still a paranormal story and it's something positive that happened. I truly believe there is a spirit world around us, one that we cannot see, full of good and bad energies, and sometimes they can take form. I truly believe that I was visited in a cemetery in time of need. If you would like to hear that story, please stay tuned. So I was truly blessed in the grandparents department. They were amazing people. I loved them truly. But my grandparents on my mom's side and my dad's side were divorced. So I had extra grandparents. So I was pretty lucky. But unfortunately, they all passed away in a short amount of time. It was crazy. Within just a few years. It was in high school and just a little bit out of high school. So I try not to go to the burial site, with funerals, because it's a really hard time to see that and experience that. It's a very sad time. And I'm an empath. When I see people hurting, I physically hurt for them on top of my own pain of losing that person. So I try not to normally go to the gravesite unless it is a close family member, immediate family member. But my grandpa on my dad's side, it was my dad's dad, his name was Boyd. I called him Bubba. Anyways, he passed away, and of course we were all grieving. And I had to go to the funeral and the burial. So we had a bit of a drive. It was out in the country. I live out in Kentucky. And it was in the holler. So we pull up to the church and the cemetery, and I look over this way and I see the hole that they're gonna bury my grandpa in. And I automatically get cold chills and my heart sinks. We're having such a hard time. It breaks my heart to see my dad going through this really hard time and losing his parent. And yeah, so I'm looking over there and I'm pretty upset. I'm feeling so sad. I'm heartbroken. And so it's time for the burial. And there is a pastor who's going to say a few words about my grandpa, and we're all huddled around the pastor and my grandpa, and we're all standing, and I'm so sad and crying. And so I don't know what made me do it, but I looked down, and out of nowhere, we're all in a circle, out of nowhere I look down, and there is a Pomeranian puppy. I'm like, what? And so I bend down and I'm holding the dog and I'm hugging it as I'm crying, and it appeared out of nowhere, and people are looking around, and after the service they're like, where did you get that dog? And I was like, I don't know, it just showed up. And they're like, yeah, I noticed that, how did it even come here? And I'm like, I don't know, it's so strange. And I'm like, my parents are upset, but I'm like, my mom looks at me and she's like, where'd you get that dog? And I'm like, I don't know, but can I have it? It's so cute. And at the time, we had never had a dog inside of our home because, I have lung disease. And they thought that was a terrible idea for me to have a dog inside of our home. But I'm like, Mom, can I have this? I'll name it Bubba. And she's like, I don't know. That is so weird that it just showed up, Whitney. And I'm like, I know. And she's like, I guess it came to comfort you. That's so weird. And I talked to my dad, and he's kind of out of it, but I'm like, Dad, look at this dog that showed up. Can I have it? And he's like, no, that's someone's dog. It has to be, because we're out in the country. Everyone knows everyone. There wouldn't just be a random dog unless someone's dog had just gotten out. And so all of these people, our family, they live down there, and they're like, that's so weird that dog would just show up out of nowhere. It just appeared. And I'm like, we're asking around, does anyone know whose dog this might be? And they're like, no. And so my mom said that my dad might come around. He's not really thinking, but I was like, it's meant to be. Like, I have to have this dog. I'm going to name him Bubba after my grandpa. And so my family member and my mom put the dog into our vehicle. Of course, we crack the windows. It's not hot outside, so the dog isn't in any danger, guys. And we go inside and we have a dinner that the church members prepared for us for the loss of my grandpa. And we're congregating and talking. And so it's at the end. We all walk out of the church. Everyone's hugging and kissing each other. And I'm like, Dad, I still have this dog. Please let me have him. He's like, no, I truly think that might be someone's dog. Whitney, we don't need a dog. And so I'm like, oh, all right. I understand. I'm sorry to bother you. And so I pick up the dog. And we walk into the graveyard. And I'm going to let him down to the same place that I had found him, and I hope and pray that his owners, will find him, because I swear, animals, cats and dogs always show up to me, guys, my whole life, and I feel this instant need to find the owners or rescue this animal. It's the weirdest thing, okay? And so I set this dog down, I give it a kiss and hug it, and I set it down. I looked over near where they are burying my grandpa, and then I looked back and that dog disappeared out of thin air. There's nowhere it could just disappear. It was a pretty large cemetery. I would have seen where it had went. And I walked back to my family members to say goodbye, and they mentioned that they did see that dog disappear out of thin air. And I'm getting cold chills, I don't know if you can tell, telling this story, because I truly believe that I was visited either by my grandpa or an angel in a time that I needed comforting. And I believe that that happens a lot throughout our life, whether it be through people, animals, because I'm such an avid animal lover and I really connect with animals, that angel or my family member took that form of a dog. And it's something I'll never forget. I recently dropped by the cemetery to visit my grandpa, and I took some pictures, and I just thought about that story, and I truly believe that wasn't just a random dog, and it did disappear, and it appeared and disappeared. And that was crazy. It's something I'll never forget, and I was grateful for the experience. Crazy things have also continued to happen throughout my life, with different animals and things that I truly believe I get visited quite a lot by angels or celestial beings. So I wanted to tell you this story. Let me know if anything has ever happened to you like that. It's pretty crazy. Have you ever been visited by a deceased loved one or an angel? Or has anything odd ever happened in a cemetery? Let me know down below. I love you guys, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.